Hello and welcome to Empowering Voices, your television program where we bring the community into your living room. My name is Morris Adams. I'm your host for Empowering Voices today, and I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you. I got to ask the question as we begin this program today. Have you ever come across the food that you've eaten and you couldn't get enough of it? Have you ever come across someone that you met and you said, I wish there were more of them walking around. I wish there were more people just like him? Today, our guest, James Randolph, is one of those people. I want to bring him into the to the program. James, I'd like to just ask you a few questions and let you speak to the people from your heart.
Okay. My name is James Randolph. I am the founder of Pathway from Boys to Men. We started the program in 2005. I had a dream, and one of the things that I wanted to do is make a difference especially in the youth, our youth lives. So what I did was prior to my retirement, I asked my wife, what were her thoughts on it? Do you think I could do this? Can we pull this off? And she said, go ahead and retire. And so I retired with 30 years of service, and I started the process. I incorporated, actually prior to my retirement in 2005. I retired in 2007. So I wanted to get it rolling. I wanted to get it started. And so what we did initially, we started doing housing for men and their sons, and people coming from prison and men coming back from Iraq. And we started providing housing for them. But there was a missing part of that, and that was jobs, opportunities to get careers, opportunities to work, to earn a living, to feel good about oneself. So we started property preservation. We started cleaning hood properties through resources that we found through property folks that are doing preservation. So we started reach out, and we did that for about 6 or 7 years. And as a matter of fact, we actually are still doing it. We did a house, cleaned up a house maybe a year ago. That was probably our last job that we did. But what happened, we decided after about 6 years to move on into employment training, providing resumes and interview etiquette and life skills and just job preparedness, getting them prepared for employment opportunities. So we have been doing that for the last since probably around 2012, 2013, we started that process on official. We're having job fairs. We've had about 5 job fairs, which included the Lewis Library and Technology Center and others. And we've had up to 500-600 people that have attended our job fairs at one occasion. So, we're doing things, trying to create opportunities. Now the job market is wide open, but we still want to do life skills. We still want to make sure that they are ready when they get there. Like I talked to a carpenter this morning, and one of the things that we talked about, he says, being on time, being punctual. He said, if you are on time, you're late. You need to be there at least 30 minutes ahead of time, so that the superintendent will be able to gauge what needs to be done, what can be done. So,
like my dad.
job preparedness,
yes.
Being at work on time,
I'm going to let you go into some more of those. I'm going to let you go into some more of those in just a few minutes, because I'm loving the way you're traveling, where you're going, and I'm also loving where you came from. I'm going to go back to where you came from. Let me ask you a question, and then we're going to go right back into the meat of what you were talking about. How did you come up with the name Pathways from Boys to Men? How did you come up with that name?
Well, I have to be honest and I have a friend that that was like a mentor for me. And he had an organization called Pathway to the Future. And so I didn't want to use, I kind of felt like I wanted to, I had a desire to do this. And so what I did was I just Pathway from boys in the singing group. We love the Boys to Men singing group. Now we didn't use their name the way they have it. We use the spelling, which was a little bit different. But how do we get the rites of passage? That's more than the rites of passage. I have a story. My 16-year-old, my dad died, and before that, I didn't even really have that relationship. But one of the things that was in my heart and my spirit when I was 16, I remember being at his funeral, and I remember saying that I don't want to end up like this. I don't want to, and I want to be able to say that I raised my family. I wanted to say that, I took care of my children, and that I didn't, that was one of my goals. That was the thing. I've been married now, my wife and I, for 39 years, and so we have 3 lovely daughters, and we've watched them all graduate from high school, graduate from college, and 2 of them got married. So, I have enough love inside of me serving our community that I have enough that I can help another human being. So
now you just touched I had a question that I wanted to ask. You answered it, and I love the way you did. I said you have a belief in people, and what I was going to ask you is what led you to share this belief in people or with people. I see what you said, how it developed you, but so I'm going to ask you, what led you to share this belief that's inside of you with other people? How did you get it outside of you so somebody else can share what was inside of you? How did that happen?
I start with, as a kid, how I was raised in Waco, Texas. It had a lot to do. It has a lot to do with what I do now and how we, our family was like a village. It wasn't just everybody helped everybody. And so even if our parents, we had Little League, we had boys, Cub Scouts, we had, go fishing, we went to the baseball. I mean, we did all the things that kids were able to do. So I didn't have any, my childhood, probably, not to say probably, it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. We weren't rich, but we didn't know we weren't rich. We had everything we needed. And so we were able to, provide, resources for ourselves and for others. But then I came out here in California, and I did, I went the wrong way for a while, I guess God got my attention. And I needed to change, to turn around, but I couldn't do it by myself. I had to have a God in my life in order for me to make that change that
mentor?
I needed. Huh?
Are you saying a mentor?
Well, I have mentors as well, but one of my mentors is like, he's more of an impact in my life than others, because I have more time I spend with him. But the thing with your question, I think it's like I just had a desire from my from everything that I was doing when I was working on my job. I was in charge of the outreach. I had a little taste. I had years we would go out and give food and boxes of lunches and toys from in the 80s. We was doing that on my job, and then when I transitioned, I'm still doing it. I was doing it when I was in Waco, and then so now I'm doing it on I won't say a larger level, but I'm continuing to work in that area.
I want to ask you about that, because I heard the word we. And I wonder, who do you work with? And that's number one. Who do you work with? Because it sounds like this is an operation, a program, an organization that's bigger than one man.
Oh,
then,
my.
And
Woo!
can you tell
Lord.
us? Can you tell us when you answer that question? Can you tell us how you grew to the size and the scope of where pathways for boys, from boys to men, where it is now? How did you grow to become who you are now, or what you guys are now?
With a lot of prayer, a lot of prayer. But we have faith without works is dead. So we have the folks that are actually doing the work, that are contributing significantly. Lakeisha Bearden, Diana Randolph, Erlinda Patterson, Aaron, those, and Irene and Gladys. I say Gladys. It's not Gladys. It's Daisy. We have a good variety of different racial makeup of folks, and then the people that have been pouring into our organization. Home Depot, major since 2008. They've been a partner. We've been partnering with them. Wells Fargo Bank, Citizens Business Bank has really stepped up, and they are doing some things that Southern Pacific Railroad has been as a recent partner with us that has been blessing us immensely, tremendously, and Partnership for Jobs with out in Orange County. I got a story. I met them in 2017. They were doing a event over in Palm Springs, and we was out there like we didn't know. Me and another one of our board members went out there it was a 3-day event, and we just mixed and mingled, and we got some connections, some contacts. And so those were Partnership for Jobs. They've changed their name now, but they've still been a blessing, feeding into us for the last 3-4 years. So those are I hope I didn't miss anyone, but those are the folks. Mayor Aquanetta Warren. Let me just put her name out there. She's been a continual blessing for our organization, and the San Bernardino Black Chamber of Commerce, Fontana Chamber of Commerce. So those are some of the businesses that have been pouring into us and helping us to grow and develop. I just completed a 12-week class over at USC. It's a USC nonprofit resilient leader and capacity building program, a 12-week program, and it was like phenomenal. Yeah. I can't thank University of Southern California enough for the help that they give it, because we had the desire, but we didn't have the blueprint that we needed. So now the blueprint is being developed, and then we can I mean, exponential growth is coming. Okay, now, so as a result,
I'm going to say this about that. Whenever you receive a blueprint, I always say, don't put it in a drawer. On this next one, I want to say, this next question, I want to ask you something. I want you to take a little moment and think about it, because this really is the heart of why we're here. But I want you to, in your own words, tell us, what does a life look like when it's been turned around? What does a life look like when someone's been turned around, where they've received the benefits of your program, and they're doing something that without the program they wouldn't have accomplished? What does that life look like?
I have several scenarios. I want to just share you this one young man that we was able to, and this is recent now. This is actually, I got a couple, but this one that we just got a job over at Home Depot. Now, his life had been, challenging, but he's, made a decision that he wanted to do something different. And so we got him a job over at Home Depot. I went over there not last Friday, and I went, and the manager was in Rialto, and the manager was out on the floor, and he was out on the floor. I just went by to say hello, see how you doing, and he pointed at the young man. He said, "He's my next assistant manager."
Wow.
You know what that did? That my heart just flattered. I say, man, God is good. So we are doing that kind of work. And then we had another young man that was sleeping on the park bench, and he didn't have nowhere to go. So we got him a hotel room, and then we got some money so he could get a California ID. We fed him, and then got him a phone so he could, and then that same day, now he did some work himself. He called some homes so he could find a place to stay doing, right now. So he got in that day, and it's been over a month, maybe a month and a half. And he's still doing good. They will give him a housing for a year or more. It's a religious home, but it's up in the mountains, up off past Sierra, going up in the mountain. I forget the name of the location, but that is another, miracle, just a blessing from God that right. He was, and he's doing real well. He's doing well.
It sounds like you're saying that success is a matter of choices, and you're helping people and guiding them to choices. That's what it sounds like you're doing.
Okay. Well, that's a true statement. Because we have options, and we can. And if I tell them, a little bit about my story, about how I, made some changes. I tell this, and I, November next month, it'll be 33 years since I had a drink. For me, it's quite a feat, because I know a lot of people that I love had challenges, and they died as a result. That's another thing that God, saved me from, his mercy and his grace. So now I've been there. I know what the situation is. I know, and I can tell them, okay, this is the way I did it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I was successful doing it like this. You might want to try that. You don't tell, you just kind of suggest a subtle suggestion, and you plant the seed. That's what we do, is plant a seed, and God brings the sun and the water.
You said something that helps me here. I can see that we're going to have you back in the future, because there's somebody out there who really wants a key they can open the door with, that you just spoke about. They want that key, how to get away from things that hold you back. But now I got another question about going forward here with our line today. I got another question, and that is, when looking at your information, it says that you work with the schools in assisting students. What led you to go to the schools, to work with the schools?
Well, that's where we want to be. I mean, that's the area that we want to plant our seeds. Because even if we plant our seeds when they're young, they'll remember as they grow older. So we've a couple of programs at a couple of schools over here in the Fontana area. And we've been able to share, some things with them, about creating a plan, not just, doing it random, but have some plan, and how you're going to achieve the goals that you're looking for. So we want to make sure that they understand, you need a plan, and it needs to be in writing. You need a vision board of some sort so that you can see, and look at it on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And as you progress and as you succeed, you can write it, you can put it on there. This is completed. And so you can, this is it's a living document, so to speak. It's not just something on your wall, but it's something that is living and thriving. So you continue to move forward as you reach the goals that you've set for yourself. So, vision board, just understanding that you have to have a plan. He who plans, how do they say it? The man that doesn't plan, I can't.
He who fails the plan, yes.
Fails the plan.
Exactly
he who fails the plan plans to fail. That's it. So we have to get a plan, and then we need help. We need to help our children. We need to help.
I hope someone heard you. Mm-hmm. I hope that one went out loud and clear, that having a vision board and having a plan. Now, we talked about you going out to the schools. My next question, how well do the schools work with you? Do you find them helpful?
Well, we've been doing a couple of the schools over here in Fontana that we've gone in on career days. That was pretty much what was a career day. And the judges and the police chiefs, all kinds of folks are there, and we was right there with them. So, and again, we will share about, the things that, you need to do, but it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So we have to take, little steps. Sometimes like one of the things that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can eat the whole elephant. So you have to take bites, do it in sections, go through this process and the next process. But, one of the things that I have in my heart right now is a generational wealth workshop. I want to start providing, I want us to have opportunities where we can gain, access to, investments and Bitcoins and all those kinds of things, but residential as well as commercial real estate. So if we are able to get in that and get our foothold, then we can move forward. Everybody can get a bite, of the elephant. Everybody can have a bite.
Fantastic.
So, but the schools we're working with them with their they have another they have the adult the young people that may have dropped out of school, the adult schools, I think is what they call them. And so we've been there and we've talked to them as well. So that's one of the things that but when COVID hit, it kind of put a little bit of a damper on the outside, and I was out there feeding people, and doing, and we do that too. We this year we probably over 4,000 lunches that we provided at least, to the community. So we're doing that. We got Thanksgiving coming up, so we're trying to get some canned goods and some donations for our Thanksgiving food drive, as well as Christmas. We're trying to get that, maybe we have some bikes we want to give away to some of the kids. So we're preparing for that. Even though the gala is the imminent thing that's going right now, we're still looking at those other things that we do annually. So just
wait, we talked about the schools and the children. Can you give me some insight about the parents? Your program is working for their child. How well do the parents, how can a parent assist you? How can they work with you? How can they help you better do what it is that your program is designed to do? What do you want the parents? Where do you want them to be? What do you want them to do?
Well, if they're a positive with their children, a lot of times kids get negative, but if we can give them some positive, they could do it. I mean, all things are possible, if they believe, they have to have that belief, the children, and they get it from their parents. They can that, their parent can tell them that they're going to be a success. They're going to do, but still they're going to have to do the work. The work is in, and if they can help the child, with that, do whatever they can to help them, to get them prepared to get the success that they're looking for. I think that would be something that would be good. And a lot of the parents are doing that already. Let me just say that.
Okay.
They're doing that already. So we just, there may be, some of the kids that we work with are in the foster, or in the group home, or in the, and there may be some challenges there, because they may not be getting that, I love you, son, or I love you, daughter, as much as they get that from the parents that are there. So just, I've talking to a lot of the foster care children that have emancipated, and they're that that's another thing that we need to focus on, and is making sure that we let them know that we love them too. We want, but sometimes it's tough love. It's not always just don't let you do whatever you want to do, but we have to give you a plan or goal, something that you can work on. You find out what it is. Listen to them first. Listen. Sometimes we fail to listen. We all are doing all the talk. So we need to listen to our young people and their parents, to see how we could best serve you. How can we serve you?
Now, let me ask you this question. I'm going to let you elaborate. I want you to talk to me, talk to us, talk to our audience out there. And you have a careers quest program. And let me just go, like, you have a mentoring program, a career training, a housing assistant. You have, you assist people when they need rides, if necessary, assist them in exploring how to find a job. You actually have a program how to create resumes, interview training, job assist and search program. I mean, it sounds like too good to be true, but I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wow, this is one of these people that more people need to be. We need to have more of you. But while you answer that, can you elaborate? You got a 16-year anniversary coming up also. A gala. Can you tell us about the gala as you design and answer that last question about your Careers Quest program? Because it sounds like too good to be true, but you're real. You're just a regular person. You've given us that you have some realities in your life that you want to share with others. So tell us about the gala and tell us about the Career Quest program.
Okay, well, the gala is going to be October 23rd on Zoom from 4 to 6 p.m. We have special guests. We have the mayor, Aquanetta Warren. She'll be speaking. We have our Lifetime Achievement Award with Dr. Joshua Beckley of Ecclesia Christian Fellowship. We have the author is going to be our keynote speaker, author Dr. Margaret Hill. She's well known in the Inland Empire. She's been a phenomenal in the schools and school boards. So we have another one. We have Emmett Cromwell. Now he's with the Carpenters Union, but he works in a specialized area in the Carpenters Union. We have Dee Goins with Youth Build. Now we've spoken at Youth Build several times throughout the last few years with their students. We've done the life skills with them at their school at least 3 or 4 times. And so we have Marcus Savage. He's a contractor, but he works with the airports out in
Now, are these all speakers, or they're just?
Yeah, well, these are all awardees. These folks are getting awards. Marvin Williams, Deacon Marvin Williams from Ecclesia. He's also a member of the San Bernardino. He's the president of the San Bernardino Black Chamber of Commerce. And I don't think I'm missing anyone, but if we have a special guest speaker as well that's going to videotape for us. AC Green, formerly of the Los Angeles Lakers is going to be saying a few words for us. So we're just.
Now, can anyone attend? Can anyone attend? Can anyone attend?
You would have to go to our. It's on Eventbrite, but if you go to our website www.pathway from boys to men FROMBOYSTOMEN.com. On the left hand side, it tells you to register, click, and you click on that link and it'll take you to Eventbrite and you can sign up at that time. So we're coming around the corner now with this, but you had asked the question and I just wanted to kind of follow up with that. Last week, we had a call from a young man. He says his transmission had blown out and he didn't have a way to get to work. He worked for FedEx, but he needed to get some time. So I took him a bus pass for 30 days to him at the location he was in Colton to make sure he was able to get to work. So we was able to do that. And the housing part was, as I just mentioned, we were able to get the young man a hotel for the night, and then was able to get him to the housing over in up Sierra Avenue in Fontana. There's a little, I can't even think of the name of it, but there's a home group like a recovery home up there, a church-based home that they have housing. And I please forgive me, but and then we send folks over to places like Cedar House, which is is another place in that Bloomington, Rialto area where folks have some challenges and need some help. So the classes, we just we go over some of the we have it on video or on that we go through the classes, the life skill classes that you were referring to, and then we just share, and then we open it up. So what would you do if someone did this? How would you respond, and how should you respond? Because we sometimes, like you said earlier, there are consequences for our actions. So if we act the way it's not the right way, then there's some consequences. Or if we act the right way, there are some consequences. Either way, there's good consequences and not good consequences. So we just want to make sure that they know that there are options. You could go to go to the office if something went wrong. So that I had to learn that lesson because I had a young man that I got a job over in Fontana called Thompson Building Material, and he got on there and passed his probation 3 months. He was doing good, getting ready to start driving trucks, and then he got someone called him a name that we don't like, and he started fighting.
He had an interruption.
Right. And so what my thing was, I felt like I was a failure because I didn't have those life skill classes at that time. It had to be 8-9 years ago, but once I saw it, we put it together where now, okay, what happens if you're called this name, or what happens if someone talks to you and you think in a derogatory manner? How do you respond to it? Do you take it personally? Mm-hmm. So those are some of the things that we interpersonal skill, communications, things that we follow up on, just stuff that we learn as from being in the workplace 50 years.
How would you say, from boys to men?
To men. Amen.
I want to say this,
Amen.
When we first came on, I made a statement that there need to be more of some people in the world. There need to be more of you. And I'm so thankful for the program and that it's actually effective and that you have a success record. I'm also thankful that you have a future, you have a path to the future, which is bringing a lot of people. I like to say it like this. The jungle is a growth of plants, but a garden is a planned event where the plants can grow. And what you are is you are a gardener. And you're doing a wonderful life and you have an organized plan so someone can grow. I just want to say thank you. And for the people out there in our audience who are listening to you, I know they've been encouraged. I know they've been informed and they've been, empowered. I just want to say thank you for coming on our program, for talking to the people. I know now we have to have you back because there's more. We didn't cover an eighth of what you do. And trust me, we covered a lot because you do a lot.
Yes.
So I want to say thank you for being our guest. Thank you for coming on. And to everyone in our audience, thank you for joining us. This is Empowering Voices, where we bring the community to your living room. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is James Randolph, and I'm the founder of Pathway from Boys to Men. Pathway from Boys to Men is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to provide life skills and resources to the underserved men, women, and youth in our community. So we are going to be celebrating our 16th year of providing service in the community. So we want to invite you to come to our gala on October 23rd at 4:00 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom, and this gala is a fundraiser for Pathway from Boys to Men, because we have to raise money in order to be able to provide the services that we provide: life skill services, job preparedness, mentoring, financial literacy. So with you coming to our gala, it's going to help us continue to provide the services that we've been providing for over 16 years. And we'd like to just invite you out and get an opportunity to see what we've been doing in our community. So thank you so much for your time, and you have just a wonderful day.
Hello, you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. My name is Marcus Williams. I met James at the church. My dad introduced us, and I really didn't personally know James until like a few months ago. And it's crazy too, because before COVID happened, everything was smooth. It was smooth sailing there. Then I got laid off, lost my job, lost a lot of stuff, and then when you lose income like that and when you making money and stuff, I was devastated. But I remember James got the hookup on jobs. So I was like, oh my goodness, James got me hooked up at Home Depot, man. And it's crazy too, because he not only did that, what else he did? Like, he personally talked to each and every one of us that he gave a job, and he actually asked us, what are your careers? What do you want to do in life? What's your goals? And then he went even further and tried to get us set up with people in those same career fields and get us to talk to them so they can get us on a path to becoming where we want to be in life. And I'm very thankful to James for what he's done for me, and not only for me, for all the people all the people in Boys to Men, the Pathway to Boys to Men, and all the people that he set me up with. I'm just really thankful. Yeah, and he taught me a lot too, man. It's just like role models like James is hard to come by, and I'm just really thankful for that. And I'm really thankful that I got to meet him at the church. And I'm just happy. I'm just so happy, man, that I know somebody like James. And I'm just so, glad to be a part of something like this. And I'm glad to see all the success that's come with it. And thank you guys.
I would like to introduce Mr. Keon Bell Owens as our next success story.
I'd just like to say thank you guys for everything. What happened, again, like a lot of stories now, is that we had a job, we had something that we were doing, we thought life was going smooth. I was just starting college. I got, blessed with a lovely opportunity to work in my psychiatric field. And then, a disease came that kind of just sent everyone home. And you can't work with people if they're not with you to work with. And, but somehow God always finds a way that I couldn't continue on my desired path, but at the bottom of the description where you guys put, teaches me to keep an open mind, that's exactly what this whole experience did. I never thought that I would work in a retail store or that I would be, doing events or things like this at on Saturdays. But what happened was, it's just that God will take you from where you think you should be and will slow you down so that you don't get there too fast thinking you're too much. And this and these programs and things like that are what allow us to, it's the vessel that he uses to do the things that he needs to do. So I just want to thank you guys for that. But yeah, now I was blessed and I was down. I had literally no money. I remember I had sat on the edge of the bed and I looked at my account and all my financial aid was gone because, I'd spent it and, on surviving and such like students do. And I was like, I need more money. I had, I think 83 cents in my account. And I was asking around, I was looking for hey, can I wash your car? Can I cut your grass? Things like that. And I had a class that I needed to pay for because now since things are online, it went from not only do you pay the school for the class, but you pay to get the external online version of it too. And I was just down with 83 cents and couldn't, get to the class. But then I got a call back and, I was offered an opportunity that not a lot of people get when they're put down, especially in something like this, where there's a lot of people that are still jobless because, they the opportunities haven't found them yet. So it's just a real good blessing. And I'd like to thank James and everyone that's in David and all those that have, given us the chance and helped us out with employment, the ability to do the things that we need to do to go from boys to men. And just one more thing I'd like to add about James is I would have never thought that I would have met him. I actually met him in one of the most interesting ways. It was at our church annually does a Super Bowl event. And it wasn't at anything fancy like a gala or anything. It wasn't like a business meeting and we weren't out in suits. He was just a regular old Joe wearing a shirt that had promotion of his the different things that he does. I think he was wearing his contractor shirt. And he was telling me about, he had a bunch of business cards and he was just handing them out and offering if you need any help, if you need a job or anything, and he's teaching about financial, stability and how to be, wise with your money. And it was just crazy because I'm just sitting there I just came to enjoy, the football, the Super Bowl, just enjoy the fellowship. But he's always about trying to spread, what he has, what's been given to him, always trying to uplift and grow. So he was at one of the most just fun, not educational or anything of the sort type of event, but he's decided to use that for the boost of, not just his work, but of what internally is going to end up being God's work. And so I met him through that. And then through a very different connection, we came back in contact and I'm glad. So thank you for all that you've done and all that you will continue to do because God is not done with me, but he's not done with any of you guys either. So continue. Thank you.